so many millions, but only one earth. Each man's need is that of his neighbor, for all there is to share is the wealth of the world. But the wealth of the world is there for the seeking, in the oceans, in the soil, and all that lies beneath. On oil, we base our cities, our habits, our life itself. The wheels that drive and make and carry. The ships that cross the lonely oceans. The aircraft droning in the stratosphere. With oil, we weave the very pattern of our civilized existence. The clothes we wear, the food we eat. For most things somewhere in their making have felt its hidden touch. Oil, the unseen miracle we take for granted. Take it away, and life as we know it would seize up. The wheels of the world would stop.
In any job, the man who does it tends to take a pretty down-to-earth view of it. We oilmen don't talk about the miracle of oil. It's like talking to a doctor about the drama of surgery. We have a professional pride, I suppose. It mainly consists in the fact that we've always met our commitments. You use it, we get it. It's a kind of amiable battle between you and us. And up to now, we've always won. But you see, because of the war, oil consumption, like everything else, has been knocked just a little sideways.
For some of us, the wheels of the world did stop. Well, the bombers and the tanks have gone, and Europe is rebuilding. But it's a slow, heart-breaking task. Spirit and muscle, like patriotism, are not enough. It's a job for machines. Now we are using oil for its proper purpose. And the hard fact is that we are using more oil than we ever did. Smashed industries, railways, shortage of coal, things like these made us turn to it more and more. And we shall keep on turning to it more and more. Like most people, we have our plans, our dreams, our visions. We are not content just to get back to where we were. The new Europe's going to need all the oil it can get.
We weren't smashed to a standstill, but since the war we've been darn near worked to a standstill. We've always lived by making things for other people. And if we want to keep on living, we've got to make more things for more people. And in spite of petrol rationing, dollar difficulties, and all the rest of it, the country's using more oil than it's ever done. Not that coal's on its way out, far from it. In fact, in some places, we're using oil to get coal, one to get t'other, so to speak. Our oil's turning the wheels of industry for the export drive. These days, it's about the only drive most of us can go for. It doesn't make it any easier either to notice that half the things you make for other people are designed to run on the stuff.
They say the world runs on wheels. Out here it ruddy well has to. Places like this are what the economists call sources of world supply. Well, without oil, they just couldn't supply. You'll find them using oil in all kinds of little ways. Ways that kind of creep up on you. When a man says he's been in the saddle till sundown, it just don't impress anymore. It doesn't mean they're getting soft, just cute. Their minds are as wide and open as the country they're working in. They've seen what oil can do, all right. And believe me, they make it do it. Yes, in all the wide open spaces of the globe, they're going to need all the oil they can get, because now they've got a production drive too. Their target? Simple. To feed the world.
Well, that's the way it goes. And I mean goes. And that's only a part of the story. Think of all the oil being used for everyday things. The millions of cars, buses, and lorries running every hour of every day. The thousands of planes flying day and night over the surface of the globe. And the ships, 3/4 of all the ships in the world running on oil. Believe me, it all adds up. Before the war, in 1938, the world's oil consumption was, but in 1948, it was, and all we have to do is find it. Well, there's plenty in the ground for a long time yet. You can relax on that one. All the time we're surveying, prospecting, going over all the likely oil-bearing country we know. No, we've a pretty shrewd idea of where we're likely to find oil. But that's where the trouble starts, where we find it. You see, though oil is found in hundreds of places all over the world, yet for the most part, it lies in two main areas. First, the Middle East, one of the world's great reservoirs, but deep down under difficult country. That's why production has not yet given as much as it could, by a long chalk. That's why, too, everybody's been mainly dependent on the world's other big reservoir, America, where 90 years ago, men first struck oil, and struck it rich.
Yeah, we struck oil, all right. Right on our own front door. It was black and it was dirty. But to us, it looked very, very good. Oil like gold was where you found it. It was like the Yukon without the snow and ice. Oil boomed, and America boomed with it. Before we knew it, a vast new industry was changing the face of the land. The oil was there and needed mighty little coaxing to come bubbling out. Well upon well, barrel upon barrel, every hour of every day and every night for 90 years. Until by 1938, we were producing 170 million tons of oil a year. Yeah, we'd struck oil, and we made good use of it. As fast as we got it from the earth, we turned it into smoke. But in the process, it made our life run easy. We're a lavish people, I guess. Just say that oil has made us that way. We like life to run on ball bearings, and why not? But you know, even we couldn't use all the oil that we produced. There was always a drop to spare. But that drop, being an American drop, was enough to turn most of the wheels for the rest of the world.